Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. We'll begin the show with our picks for today's wild card round games. Then we'll recap Monday Night Football, WNBA playoffs, soccer, my NFL Tuesday bet, news and notes, and my best bet for today. We'll begin with baseball. We have 4 games going on, and first pitch as we are recording for Tigers Guardians is in 8 minutes. All right, so I picked Guardians in 3 in the series. So in the game, it's Tariq Skubal and Gavin Williams. Tigers minus 172, Guardians plus 144 over under 6, minus 110 each way. Tigers minus 1.5 plus 110, Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 132. My pick that I'm going to give out for this game, I'm going to give out the under. I just think it's a really low-scoring game, and I think it's going to be a 1-0, 2-1 game, and I think the Tigers win it. But the Guardians win the series. Next up, 3 o'clock on ABC, Padres Cubs. It's Nick Pivetta and Matt Boyd. Cubs are minus 126 home favorites. Padres plus 108 over under 7. Over is minus 104, under is minus 118. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 225. Cubs minus 1.5 plus 184. I picked the Padres to win the series. I think they get it done in game 1. I trust Nick Pivetta. Matt Boyd hasn't been good down the stretch, so I'm taking the Padres at plus 108. All right, 6 o'clock. ESPN. Red Sox. Yankees. Max Fried. Garrett Crochet. Yankees minus 136. Red Sox plus 116. Over under 7. Over is minus 102. Under is minus 120. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 205. Yankees minus 1.5 plus 168. And I guarantee you this is the Carl Ravitch, David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, Buster Olney group. And as it should be, if it's not, ESPN should have egg on their face. Unless if it was Michael Kay calling the game. But yeah, the first game on my screen right now, Sean McDonough, Todd Frazier, that makes sense. And then Boog Sciambi will probably, there'd be a little favoritism if they put him on the Cubs. Maybe Michael Kay's doing Cubs. And then Boog Sciambi's Dodgers. And then obviously Ravitch Yankees. But then again, they'll say the same thing about David Cohn being on the Yankee broadcast. But it's happened all year on Sunday Night Baseball. I don't want to hear shit. All right. Yanks minus 136. Boston plus 116 over under 7. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 205. Yanks minus 1.5 plus 168. I don't want to give out the Red Sox plus 116. I do think if the Red Sox are going to win a game in the series, it's tonight with Crochet on the mound. So I'm gonna go. This is a very, very hard one. I think the best bet on the board is Boston plus 116. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the pick. Because I can't find anything else good. And then 9 o'clock on ESPN's Reds, Dodgers, Hunter Green, Blake Snell. Dodgers minus 205, Reds plus 172, over under 7, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 128. Dodgers minus 1.5 plus 106. Dodgers run line without a doubt's the pick. They're the biggest favorite on the board. So I'm gonna lay to minus 1.5 at plus 106 with the Dodgers. That's a good one. Okay, Monday Night Football. We had 2 games last night. We'll go over both of them. One of them was close. The other was not. Dolphins over the Jets 27-21, so my over hit. Dolphins are 1-3. Jets dropped to 0-4, and then the Broncos over the Bengals 28-3. The Broncos go to 2-2 in a game where Bo Nix I felt had to perform well. He did. Cincinnati without Burrow drops to 2-2, and we'll do the power rankings on tomorrow's podcast. Okay, now we'll move on to the WNBA playoffs. We had, if I'm not mistaken, we did have a couple of, or no, we have a game tonight. It's game 5. 9:30 ESPN2, Fever Aces. Must win for the Aces. Winner of this game goes to the WNBA Finals, face the Mercury. The Aces are giving 7.5 totals, 157.5. Usually, if it totals that low, I have to go over, but it's a game 5, so I do the game 7 rule of the unders. So I'm going to lay the points of the Aces. This is a great run for the Fever. If they win, it's a big Ewing theory with Caitlin Clark. So I'm going to lay the Aces 7.5 tonight against the Fever. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over the notable results and look ahead to today. I know we have a lot of Champions League. I did pick some games on the podcast yesterday because they started before 1 o'clock. All right, results. Premier League, Everton, West Ham, 1-1 draw. Serie A, Parma over Torino, 2-1. Lazio over Genoa, 3-0. Scottish Cup, Stirling University over Burntisland, 6-2. And then going on right now, Atalanta, Club Brugge, and Kairat Almaty and Real Madrid in Champions League. All right, 2 o'clock in the afternoon today, we have Valencia, Real Oviedo. Valencia minus 155, Oviedo plus 490, draw plus 260. I'm going over 2.5 goals at plus 130. ELC. Birmingham City, Sheffield Wednesday. Birmingham minus 230, Sheffield plus 600, draws plus 320. For this one, I'm going to go over 2.5 goals minus 106. Blackburn, Swansea. Each team's plus 170 to draws plus 210. I'm going with the draw plus 210. Bristol City, Ipswich. Ipswich plus 145. Bristol City plus 180. Draw plus 230. I'm going to go with Ipswich at plus 145. Hull City, Preston. Hull plus 110. Preston plus 240. Draw plus 230. I'm going with Hull plus 110. Leicester, Wrexham. Leicester minus 165. Wrexham plus 400. Draws plus 290. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 108. Borough, Stoke City. Borough minus 115. Stoke plus 320. Draw plus 240. I'm going with Borough minus 115. Sheffield United, Southampton. United plus 155. Southampton plus 180. Draw plus 220. I'm going with Sheffield United plus 155. And at 3 o'clock, Derby and Charlton. Derby plus 185, Charlton plus 65, draws 2-1. I'm going with Derby at home at plus 185. Champions League today. 3 o'clock, Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Frankfurt. Madrid minus 3, Frankfurt plus 550, draw plus 390. I'm going over 3.5 goals at even money. All right, next is Bodo Glimt in Tottenham. Tottenham minus 105, Glimt plus 260, draw plus 270. I'm going to Tottenham minus 105. Chelsea, Benfica. Chelsea minus 160, Benfica plus 450. The draw is 3-1. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals plus 122. Galatasaray, Liverpool. Liverpool minus 175, Galatasaray plus 420, draw plus 350. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals minus 105. Inter Slavia, Peru. Inter minus 400, Slavia 10-1, the draw is 5-1. I'm going over 3.5 goals plus 110. And then Paphos and Munich. Munich minus 900. Paphos 18-1. The draw is 9-1. I'm going under 3.5 goals at even money. And oh wait, did I just click on the wrong game? No. And in Marseille and Ajax, Marseille minus 240, Ajax 6-1, the draw is plus 380. For this one, I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 138. Okay, and then MLS tonight, we have one game. We have Miami, Chicago from Fort Lauderdale. Miami minus 90, Chicago plus 380, draw plus 380. I'm going to do under 3.5 goals at plus 104. And then CONCACAF women's, you have America and Orlando. Alrighty, so there you have it for soccer. Now I'm going to do my Tuesday NFL bet of the week. So you always got to be careful when doing the Tuesday NFL bet, because of injuries and whatnot, as the trade goes up 1-0 on Cleveland. So the Tuesday bet. My first bet of the week. I really like the Philadelphia Eagles minus the 4.5 at home against the Broncos. They just keep finding ways to win, and I know it's a tough atmosphere and whatnot. I don't know if this will be in Fab 5. It might be. But I think that's low considering the Eagles showing the flashes, and this was around the same number as that Ram game. Maybe higher than the Ram game, but I know Denver's defense has looked better, but this Eagle offense is a different animal than Cincy without Joe Burrow and the injured some of the other teams. Like, I know the Chargers are good, but their defense had moments in that game, although the Chargers did dominate that game. And then Daniel Jones and the Colts went up and down the field against them, so I don't know if the Denver defense is all that great. And it's Bo Nix on the road in a hostile environment. So Eagles minus 4.5 is the first NFL bet I'm going to make this week. Okay, now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. There's a couple things I would like to get to. They're just good because it's a short show today. So Malik Neighbors hooked up with NBA YoungBoy after his ACL injury. There's a picture on it on social media. So Ricky Pearsall and Brock Purdy are questionable for Thursday Night Football against the Rams. Purdy toe, Pearsall knee. Tyreek Hill tore his ACL out for the year. Will have surgery today. That's sad. But the reality of that situation is Tyreek Hill has not been the same for a little bit now, and he probably played his last game as a Dolphin, which is really sad. He kind of fell off the map fast. And it's funny because we were sitting here blaming the Chiefs for trading him away and whatnot. But yeah, it's just sad, and hopefully this isn't the end for Tyreek Hill. And that was after he got carted off the field last night, and that was really, really ugly. Joe Alchemist Week says he has a high ankle sprain. That's brutal for the Chargers. Braylon Allen ruled out of last night's game because of a knee injury. Kevin O'Connell hopes that JJ can practice this week, which is good. Well, I do want to do power rankings, obviously. A lot of people on Twitter last night were calling for the Bengals to trade for a quarterback. I know one they could trade for, or two of them. They're both on the Giants roster. One's Jameis Winston, the other's Russell Wilson. I think Jameis would be more fun on the Bengals than Russ. The Players Association met about the Giants' turf at MetLife, and the meeting was about MetLife's history of injuries. Cheryl Reeve was fined $15,000 for ref criticism. Becky Hammond and Stephanie White fined $1,000 for supporting Reeve. Wow. The WNBA is laying the hammer. So a couple of managerial firings in Major League Baseball. We talked about Bob Melvin. I thought that was a bad decision. Rocco Baldelli's out after a 70-92 season. That one, it's not surprising. Time's run its course there. He was there for a while, made the playoffs a few times. Time for a new voice there. But this was the surprise one that came out last night. The Rangers have fired Bruce Bochy, but they're open to bringing him back as an advisor. I think that could backfire the Rangers. Bruce Bochy's a good manager, and the Rangers almost came back to make the playoffs this year. So I thought that was a mistake. But then again, of course, the managers are getting let go, or all these like old school managers that get a lot out of their teams. Because the league is going with these Aaron Boone types of guys and Stephen Votes and Mendoza, like all these analytic nerd guys. Cash. So like maybe the era of big name old school managers are over. But like I said, I think the Giants firing Melvin and the Rangers firing Bochy are mistakes. And I think in San Francisco's case, it was false hope. And in the Rangers case, that wasn't fair. Like, they had too many injuries, and if they didn't have all those injuries, if Eovaldi doesn't get hurt, maybe they get the wild card over Cleveland. Or, I'm sorry, Detroit. So, yeah, like, there's what ifs with the Rangers, so that's why I don't know why Bochy got fired. I mean, maybe, but they're open to bringing him back as an advisor. Like, was there that's weird. Maybe you never know this kind of crap. There could have been friction with the front office and the manager. That's what happened with Joe Girardi with the Yankees back in the day. But yeah, this comes off guard, and we'll see who those three teams hire. And I do think there's a possibility some of these managers that are managing in the postseason in the wildcard series get canned. I think the loser of Yankees Red Sox might get fired. Like, I genuinely believe that, especially if the Yankees lose. But Cora's more likely to keep his job if he loses than Boone, because Cora, you can point to and say, like, oh, we didn't have Roman Anthony, you traded Devers. And then Yankees, but then again, the case for Boone is like we didn't have Garrett Cole this year. And if we had him, we win the division running away in all likelihood. So I think both managers have excuses to come back. But I do think there's a possibility the loser of that series gets fired. And then Mendoza, I still think, is somewhat in trouble. I think there's a possibility he gets let go from the Mets. So there's a target of A.J. Brown's Instagram post. This cryptic message aimed internally within Eagles. All right, so the Wild extend Kirill Kaprizov, 8-year, $16 million a year. So that's $136 million. That's the biggest extension in league history. Now, the question is, that's a bar for Connor McDavid with the Oilers. But you know McDavid doesn't want more. He's the best player in hockey, maybe even the best player in all sports right now. So, good job by the Wild getting that done. Kaprizov got a lot of money, but he deserves it. He's a good, young, talented player. He's one of the best players in the league. Giannis confirms Shams' report as he says he was questioning his future in Milwaukee. So that opens the door for a trade. Jalen Green done with Adidas as he hits sneaker free agency after turning down lucrative multi-year extension. Bradley Beal says he hopes to retire as a Clipper. And that's it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. So, best bet. I'm actually going to go to soccer for best bet because there's not a lot of things I like in baseball or the other sports. But I'm going to go to the ELC. And I'm going to go with Middlesbrough, minus 115 against Stoke for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.